Hey horse lovers, welcome back to Free Spirit Equestrian. So today we are going to be doing a training session with both Esmeralda and Ariel, my 2-year-old draft cross fillies. We are going to work on Liberty today. I'm going to show you some more of the things we've been working on during our sessions and just give you an update on them. So actually I think I'm going to work with Miss Ariel first.
All right, we definitely need to groom you. You're a disaster.
We are going to start with a full grooming session here. So Ariel is actually blowing out her summer coat and her fall and winter coat is coming in. Her color is Bay Roan and she is a Brabant quarter horse cross and she is only 2 years old. Right now, she's just under 15 hands, so she's growing and she's super stout. So I went over her body with the curry comb to loosen up the dirt and the hair and went over it with the soft brush. Now I'm going to spray this coat and mane and tail conditioner into her mane, tail, and all over her body. So we do have a few burdocks in her tail right now. Luckily, we mowed the pastures, so once I get these out, that will be the end of them. But I use this spray because it helps to pull them out gently instead of pulling on her, tail and dock. I'm getting all the burrs out, which you can see here, and then I'm going to brush through her entire tail and her mane. She actually has such a super thick tail. It is gorgeous. And I can't believe how much muscle Ariel is gaining, especially for only being a 2-year-old. Now I'm going to spray her with some fly spray. I'm using Piranha. I also sprayed the coat conditioner on her, and I'm going to use a soft brush to go ahead and work it into her skin.
I just wanted to talk about the equipment that I'm using today, if people want to know and they're wondering. So I am just using a dressage whip. This came off Amazon. And then I have Miss Ariel in one of the halters we designed. This is the Fantasia's Sparkle halter. Also, if you did order a halter on pre-order, they are shipping in just a couple of days. They were a little bit delayed due to tariffs and all the other things, but they are coming in and I'm so excited. Plus, there might be more to that, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so she is in the Fantasia Sparkle halter. She is wearing a cob size currently. So this is the only equipment we're going to be working in, along with a cotton lead rope that I got off Amazon as well. And it's just very simple. Now, sometimes I will work in a rope halter. It really just depends on what we're trying to achieve that day. But for what we're doing right now, this is just a regular halter and lead.
In this video, I'm going to talk you through the training session and what we're doing. You can see I started in our neutral position where she was facing me. I opened with my leading hand and guide her through, asking her to move her shoulder outwards with my whip. So I'm actually working on something cool with her, which you're going to see here in a minute. Another thing I like to work on is when I lower my body, that is when they come and turn around and face into me. I use this method just in case something was to happen. I want them to come into me if I'm on the ground. Now, when I was shaking towards her, I wanted her to stay out of my space, and that was just giving her a boundary and letting her know. So I asked her to switch directions by the same method, opening with my leading hand and guiding with my whip. Now, I'm actually teaching her that when my whip is out and open to stay forward and walking, and when my whip is right in front of me, I want her to stop or walk. I'm also teaching her to come in with both pressure and with just my whip. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. So right now I'm asking her to go ahead and switch directions. So I opened my hand and guided her through with my whip, and now she's going to stay on the circle, which is exactly what I'm asking her to do, and she's doing it very, very well. So you can see here, I'm wanting her to trot, so I'm going to raise the energy, aka raise my whip up in the air. So these are all Liberty foundations, so I'm trying to teach her these things on the line before we go off the line. If you watch closely, you can see my whip is up, and the second that I put it downward in that motion, she breaks gait to a walk. Now I'm going to again raise the intensity, and that is her cue to trot. So obviously she knows to do all of this like on the lunge line, just the normal methods, but these are the actual Liberty cues I'm trying to teach her. Ariel is also just new to lunging as well, so she's catching on great. You can see here, I put the whip down, she broke into her walk, it just took her a couple seconds, and now I want her to come into me. So I'm going to pause there, give her the neutral position, and then I'm going to go ahead and ask her to move the opposite direction. So I opened again with my leading hand. I use a circular motion to ask her to move her shoulder away from me, but essentially what that means is switching directions. Okay, I'm not asking her to side pass or move her shoulder over. I'm asking her to turn around and switch directions. And I'll show you her actual side pass later as well. So a little bit of background, I got Ariel, it's coming up on 2 years ago, and she was a completely unhandled filly. She wasn't halter broke or anything like that, and she's come quite a long way. You can see there I did the whip transition again from holding it out and asking for energy, raising it, and then having her go to a walk when that whip is down. I've become very interested in Liberty recently. It's something I've done a little bit of and dabbled in, but I want to get more serious about it. So it's perfect because Ariel can't be ridden because she's only 2. So it's something we can really work on. But not only will it benefit our Liberty work, this will all transfer to undersaddle work because of course I plan on riding her in a couple of years. So she did really well there. You saw kind of what we were working on, and all of this might seem a little boring, but that's what basics are, the foundation. You got to start somewhere, and it has to be simple. So I'm going to praise her, give her a big release, and walk away and take a break. And then we're going to come back at it again and do some other things. And I'm actually going to see if she will just stay connected with me for a minute off the line. I'm not expecting much. I just want a couple steps. She can do free lunge, large Liberty circles, but I want to work on these small Liberty circles as well. I will also be teaching her funneling, which I'm going to show you in some other videos, but I just want to see for kicks how she does off the line just at the walk and staying in connection with me. Now I'm kind of bending down to keep her drawn in so she doesn't move away from me. And so far she did really well. That's all I wanted from her was just a few steps. I don't want to push it. She came right back into me. I'm super proud. And we're just going to go back on the line to reiterate what we're doing. That was incredible. Plus she just looks so gorgeous. I just love her so much. She's a stunning, stunning mare. I'm just getting her set up. As you see, I've already taught her to move her hindquarters over, and we are going to start introducing the lay down to her on cue. The first thing I want to teach her is how to put her head down because I want to try to teach her this in a simple way. And you can see she is figuring it out. I'm using our little Martian as a target training technique because at the end of the day, she is only 2 years old and I just want to give her something to focus on. The second that she gives any try, I'm going to release. You can see she put her head down pretty well there, so I gave her a big release. She was pawing trying to figure out what to do, but that's actually another step in a sense is picking up that leg. Okay, so you can see here now when I put a little bit of light pressure on that lead rope and her head comes down, that's exactly what I want. And when she does that, I'm going to go ahead and release her. And because that was so good, I'm actually going to really walk away. I'm going to literally walk away from the spot and completely reward her, give her a break, and then come back to it and ask again. Now I'm going to actually ask her to side pass. So I want her to yield completely away from me without walking in front of me. So I've already taught her this. I've shown some clips on Facebook and some other areas where she literally didn't know how to do it. And I showed from the very beginning. So she's pretty good at it. Sometimes she gets a little confused which way to go, but overall she's pretty solid at moving her shoulders and she knows how to yield her hips away and towards me and how to line up at the mounting block. So she's learning quite a few things already for her age and level, which is super exciting because she's also super relaxed. Like look at her chill, loose lip, but she's still engaged and, thinking and trying to figure out what I'm asking her to do. Now we're gonna do some free lunge liberty for a little bit to end our session.
Switch. Walk slow. Good girl. Good girl. Whoa. Good girl. Nice job, Ariel. Nice job. Whoa. Whoa. Good girl. Good girl. Smart. You're so pretty. Walk slow. Walk slow. Good. Whoa. What a good girl. Come on over. And whoa. Nice job, Ariel. That was so good, baby. I'm so proud of you. All right.
That was amazing, Ariel. So we're just doing very simple things right now because they're so young and everything's new. And I think that was a fantastic session. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her back out. We actually worked on quite a few things. You sleepy now? You did so well. Very, very impressed with her. All right, put you out. We'll get Esmeralda. So Ezzy is a Belgian Clyde saddlebred cross, and she is also 2 years old. Her and Ariel are like a month apart, so they're basically the same age. Ezzy is over 15 hands now. I need to stick them again because they've had recent growth spurts, and she is a buckskin, but has the gray gene, so she's going gray. So same thing I'm gonna do with her is curry comb her and soft brush her as well. She also has a few burrs, so we're gonna do the exact same process. Also, I did pick their hooves. I didn't film that because I didn't want to run out of storage. I have to clear my phone. But anyway, she was a little wiggly today. She's usually a lot more chill, but she was a little bit squirmy. I think it's because Ariel was kind of banging on the gate because she gets really jealous. They both do. Ezzy will bang on the gate if I'm working with the other one, so I think that had something to do with it. Same thing, I'm gonna start in my neutral position, open with my leading hand and ask her to move through with my guiding hand. So again, circular motions with my whip, asking her to move out and away from me through the shoulder. And as you can see, my whip is up because I want her to continue with forward motion. When I want her to trot, I will raise the whip for intensity. When I want her to halt, I will either ask her with pressure on the line or bend my knee, or completely stop my feet and move the whip down. You can see here, I just kind of wanted her to move towards me, and she did a fantastic job. That was really good. Here you get a lot better view of my whip cue to ask her to switch directions and moving away from me with the shoulder. So that was really good right there. And Ezzy and Ariel are at the exact same level of learning. She's gonna go to the bathroom real quick. So I've literally done everything with them in the same timeline, besides that Ariel was like 5-6 months old and wasn't halter broke, and Ezzy was halter broke, you know, around like a month. So other than that, yeah, they're basically at the same level of training. Now, of course, they have strengths and weaknesses. So Ezzy really likes to come into my circle, so I will point the whip towards her shoulder and just ask her to stay out. That was really nice right there, a change of direction with the halt in between. So with working with any horse, but especially younger horses, you just want to be very clear with your communication and ask the same way every time, like consistency and just being clear and concise. I mean, that's really the key ingredient. And Ezzy and Ariel are also very intelligent, and they've been just a blast to work with. So that was good right there. I'm going to go ahead and give her a release and a break. Now we're going to trot on the line. So Ezzy is more sensitive in a sense, but she's also a little more dull. It's very, very interesting compared to Ariel. So you just have to work with what she's giving you in that moment. So you can see here when I wanted her to go faster or if she was slowing down, I would raise my whip. If I wanted her to just stay the way she was, I would just keep my whip out. And if I want her to stop, I'm either going to use pressure or I'm going to go to my knees, whichever maneuver I want to work with. So you can see here asking her to change directions again. Raising the whip means more energy, lowering it means less energy. So basically that's what it comes down to. That was pretty good right there. I just raised my whip and she went into her trot. She actually is really good at Liberty. Her little poop pile. I didn't want to break our session to clean it up. But anyways, yeah, she is just a really, really smart filly. And just like Ariel, I think they're going to make waves. And maybe Liberty will be our new calling. We'll just have to see. Watch here, the second I put that whip down, she immediately walks. So sometimes she wants to come in instead of just like transition down to walk. So I'm just going to encourage her forward because I didn't dip down or put any pressure on the line to ask her to come in and halt. And she just does that every once in a while. So again, they're still trying to figure it out. They're not going to be perfect. And there's always going to be days where, you know, it's really good and days that are just kind of like, you know, so-so. That's just part of horsemanship and training. If you expect perfection, you're never going to get anywhere with horses and you're just going to get frustrated. It's literally moment to moment. And sometimes it's 4 steps forward and 8 steps back. Sometimes, you know, you make a lot of progress. Sometimes, you know, it just depends. Now I'm going to ask her to go off the line for a few steps. Let's see what happens. That was absolutely beautiful work off the line with Esmeralda, especially for her age. So now I'm actually just lunging her for some exercise. I gave her a break. We chilled out for a minute once she went off the line so she understood. But now I just want to trot her to give her a little bit of exercise. And obviously we're still focusing on our cues and all the things that are related to Liberty as well. Now I'm just going to reiterate the cues. So you can see here I have my whip out, asking her to trot. In a minute here, I'm going to go ahead and ask her to walk by putting my whip downward and also not moving my feet. Perfect. She did really well. And now we're going to move on to the next exercise.
Good. Good girl.
Now we're gonna work on cueing the lay down. So I can actually get Ezzy to lay down like naturally, but I wanna teach her to do it right on cue.
Good girl. Good girl. Nice job.
She sees the other horses out in the pasture. So I'm doing the exact same exercises I did with Ariel. So I'm getting her to lower her head. This is step one on teaching her to lay down on cue. And she's doing really well. So, I'll ask her, take a few breaks. We have the Martian here for a little bit of target training just to help her understand in the beginning. And then what we're gonna do is another step because Ezzy was actually offering a little bit more, and I'll show you here in a second. So now I'm more on the side of her. Ezzy has a tendency of stepping forward, so that's why I wanted to be in front of her just to make sure she understood and didn't get too confused. And so far she's doing phenomenal lowering her head. So I had to make a quick adjustment to the camera. I also practiced ground tying with them. She did great. And so far she's totally understanding the cue. And it'll be at the point I can just kind of lower my hand and she'll do it. So now I'm going to add in another step. So I want her to lower her head, hold it there, and then I'm going to tap her belly, and I want her to move a foot forward. That is the goal, the back foot. Now, the next step will be actually picking up the knee, and she did that right there. But right there, she did kind of move her back leg. So I'm going to go ahead and release that because it was a try. Now she stepped a little bit forward too, but we're going to just keep asking, and I'll release when she gives her best effort and a try and a response. So she did pick up the knee and bend it. So I am going to go ahead and release that too because that is part of the lay down. She's trying so hard. She's so cute.
Also, horse lovers, we are having a end of summer special just for you. So it is buy one riding top, get one free. So this is actually the dark rose riding top. It is my personal favorite and the first shirt I ever designed. So if you buy any of these shirts, I made them all the same price for this special. You get one completely free. So if you want to add to your wardrobe, you can go ahead and check this out. I also discounted all of the shirts. So you're not only getting a discount on the one shirt, but then you're getting the second one completely free. It's a great way you can support Free Spirit Equestrian and everything we do, and also get something in return to enjoy. So go ahead and check that out. Links in the comments and the description. All right, horse lovers. Well, I hope you enjoyed this update with Ezzy and Ariel. Thank you so much for watching. If you like FSE, make sure you like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything Free Spirit Equestrian or any updates, and I'll see you next time.